and welcome to our session today about Teamium product demo. With me today is Yannick in France. Hello and welcome.
Hello, good afternoon.
Designed with the latest web and mobile technology for today's digital workspace, Teamium provides software solution for extended teams with the need of collaboration and coordination of production work, including budgeting and scheduling, resource management, and a lot more. Let's have a quick overview about Teamium at the beginning, and I'd like you, Yannick, to spread some words about it.
Yeah, so as you can see, what we have intended to do with the Teamium is to make a global platform. When you start to create production, usually from the ideation, what you have to do is get the budget. And get the budget is what you need. And what you need for the production, the shooting studio, but what you need also could be in post-production as well, or news, and in this case, you might require some transmission and cost analysis. So at the will be the very first step. Then going to the scheduling and finding the appropriate resource. So beyond a simple scheduler, what Teamium provide is a capability to fine-tune and optimize the resource finding. So that's one thing that's important for the personal, but also for the equipment to optimize multiple resources among several business units. Nevertheless, that financial reporting it's becoming the key now. Even if in the past it was been reporting, people get projects several months after what's happened. What Teamium deliver, it's a real-time cost analysis. So therefore, financial people get this information right before the spending. And to control this real-time cost analysis, that's also one of the modules there. It's a procurement. So to tie it very closely, so you know what you spend outside, what you need to externalize, and that's let's say the main modules on Teamium.
Thank you for that overview. Yeah, since we did the last product demo, a lot of things happened within Teamium, and I'd like to jump into the software right away that you could give us some insights in it. Yeah, tell us about some of the exciting features and please show them to us.
So as you can see, I have one of the application. It's a cloud-based application. So of course that's very important, and we don't build a client server. So I'm using a Chrome browser. What we have reduced since last time is, if you can, I can show on the screen, we have rebuilt completely the UI. So you see the module on the left side, that's remain there. But what we have reduced is a capability to handle multiple tables. We have simplified the information. We get also the capability to, organize the view, the column, and the page, really to fit each role. So you see it's very clear to read. I get my production on one side, I get maybe a transcoding or transmission or post-prod on the other. So I can create as I need, any type of table like that. And to make very simple, the same information always get me a different view. So I can see table, but I can see also like in a scheduler view. So that's what we have done, is to simplify, make it more user-friendly. Another thing we do have on the top is we were talking about chat notification. So all this component that was today you might use other software, we have totally embedded into different microservices for notification and for chat to get this feature. Some clarity. Sometimes you don't need people doesn't need to handle the cost. Some people need to get that. So you can get really build your own board and build your different view. That's also some improvement on the scheduling view. You can see here you're building the view you like to have. So you can have as many as you need. You can, select multiple type of view and getting very user-friendly scheduling in multiple ways.
Yeah, thanks. Maybe we could quickly have a look into a people section, because that's always of interest. And I do know that there is a function to have multiple skills in people. And maybe you could get a quick overview about the administrative part to start scheduling.
Yeah. So for any crew, what you have, we built. The user can choose between list view, Kanban view. So people can take the most comfortable type of view they like. The power of Teamium is also based on the filter. When you have a profile, when we can profile very accurately the person, it's really helped to find the most appropriate person. So let's take an example. If I like to get, and I can search, I don't know if I will put an editors or a shooter. That could be, so I can select and filter the shooter. I can go even more. I need someone maybe in New York, or someone in in Sydney. So you can find, by location, could be by skill. Does this person know the Canon 100 cameras, as an example? So you can see the multiple type and power of the filter, going even to rates. So when you're working with a freelancer basis, as you can see, we handle both internal personal and crew as a freelancer or correspondent. And the power of Teamium, it's also give you, say, if you have to work on some project, the range, maybe of the cost you can afford for, you have the budget on the project, and you can even fine-tune and find the most appropriate skill and rate and person availability. So that's the power of the filter itself. Now, as you can see, you can also, when you're working with internal people or even freelancer, you can manage leave directly from that. What is important is when you create, you have a project, it's important to see who could be available. So try to allocate some, maybe some crew there. And by getting the leave directly into the platform, that's give you automatically the availability of the personnel. Going a little bit now, let me go to a freelancer. Let me go to Stuart. And you see the Google is very convenient on the top. So you can search, make a query very quickly. So the first level of detail is directly on this page. Going deeper, and of course we manage that by roles, so it's not everyone can access to this view, but I can say that Stuart maybe it could be a shooter, and it could be a jib operator as well. I can also get the history of any production, any project I have hired this person, and I could have different languages, different skills, location. When we're working also with correspondent, you will notice that correspondent now in news, they get more and more equipment. So they may hold a backpack LT, they may hold already the camera. So it's important when you book the person to know exactly what kind of equipment and what kind of service she can deliver.
Mm-hmm. Besides people, equipment is a topic. We can plan this in Teamium as well. And also maintenance contracts stuff goes along with the hardware. Yeah,
definitely. And you will see very similar user experience, managing the resource and the personal. Kanban view, list view, we can, of course, get the filter, and you can filter by, say, let's go to my Canon C100 camera. So you can you can see, we can manage also kit. We can have multiple role. In this case, it's only a camera. I get my also booking history. And for us, we're using exactly the same database. Suppose I'm taking now an edit room or a studio. So if I take my edit bay, you will see I can do color correction, I can do editings, I can get floor plan and that. Going to let's go to a camera, an ENG. I would like to take another example where we can change the type of data upon the equipment. And this example, you see I get a camera there. I can say, okay, this is a Sony, this is type. So all the field you see there, it's automatically, we have already some predefined, but as an IT manager, you can create more. So of course, you will know that you don't manage the same way a backpack for news as a camera, an EFP camera, or a studio or an edit bay. However, this is part of your production. And we also adding the power of any equipment can belong to a business unit. So what does it mean? You very often on an enterprise version, you will have companies managing the studio, or one branch of the company managing studio, another branch managing the post-production. And ultimately, we're working on the same content. You know, when you get a production, you get a red carpet event, a live sport, you have to use both features, capability of your companies. So managing and sharing resources, it's also important because we see some gain to optimize within the whole company equipment. Sometimes you have to outsource, but by digging and finding within your company, that's a way to optimize the resource.
Yeah, as we speak about post-production, there are very special needs with that customers, and you developed some nice features for them. Could you show them for us?
Sure. What we have done in post-production is we enhance the show modules. So when we go, let me go to IBC part show. So what we have done there, it's the possibility to at the very early stage is you create your show, and like you create a project, but the show has multiple projects inside. So usually it could be episode for production or episode for post-production. Same thing, when you have to do some shooting. So how we got that, you can define, let's say season 2, and I would say this is for next year. You can define that I get a number of projects or 4 shoots. So that's kind of information you have. You know that you do something like that. And for how do you start? The very first step is it's to define what you need. I say I need a studio. I will need I can, of course, if I get the rate cards automatically, it's there. And let's make a very simple thing and just put in camera from the catalog. By the way, we have multiple way to do it. Either we get the list of the resource like that, and I say, okay, I might need also lightings. So you can find directly from equipment or personal right there, or for this window. So again, we offer 2 different ways to handle and create a bid. So this estimate. You can define, okay, I need 10 days of studio. I need cameras, would get $100 for that. And lighting, I need 10 days as well. So now when you got this type of information, you can click and move and directly go through the scheduling. And you can go one by one on the project. So that's what has been new on the show to facilitate the overall scheduling. So that's for the show.
Yeah, thank you. You mentioned before. Sorry, you mentioned before that invoicing and finance is a very important part of, or for the customers using Teamium. How does Teamium support me by writing invoices and getting the right numbers out of it?
Yeah, we have multiple way to build invoice. If I take the example, and I will share a screen right there. So when you go to the list of all the service you have to provide, or let's say one of the invoice way to do is actualize. So you say initially you code for 1 day studio, and in reality you spend 2 days. So that's one way to do, and you can bill item by item. So now that my item is billable, I can create an invoice for only these 2 days. So this mode is very often used in post-production, where you go one by one. When you go in production, we have another way to do the invoice is you get a list of equipment, and basically you will not charge for the camera, for the lighting. It's the full studio, the full package, a full day of production. You may request for down payment before. So we will raise a progress-based invoice, and that's when we do that. Of course, you can do so many changing. You take as example 30% at the beginning, then you can always, and we calculate if you're adding more items, if you actualize some of the items, the final invoice will be automatically adjusted. So the invoice module is allowed to generate invoice in multiple ways, but also we can push data to a financial system. So in some enterprise, our client has already an existing system in place. Therefore, we are pushing the data, but using the invoice module, not generating the PDF, but generating the invoice module.
Thank you. Yeah, you have another exciting news. You have signed up with a rental management or involved rental management into your platform. Can you show us this feature and how the customer could benefit from that?
Yeah, one of the point you see earlier, we've been able to manage multiple tables, and in these multiple tables, you can think like, for example, I get this camera, I get this lens, and now what I can do, I can create each item we do have as a barcode. So we can manage this equipment by checkout and check-in. So for any view, so suppose let's say I'm going at that, I can create my bill of material, and I can scan, and I can replace any equipment. So that's one of the features is barcode management to check in and check out our equipment. So second, really development we have done is what we call the warehouse. Warehouse, it's let me go and pick up some project there. So you can filter by dates. So where's my equipment from November? There, I can see that I get equipment already in prep. Some could be on location. So okay, this is a project. This is location. Is getting back to the warehouse, and you can handle some bundle of equipment like that. So this view it's very important for inventory management because you can track the overall. Of course, going into the detail of that, you can check with a barcode each of your equipment. So we made this view to allow. Again, we intend to get a Teamium as an enterprise platform. And production company, whatever it is for news, when you have to scan the equipment, the NG camera, or when you're doing production, setting a production unit with camera, lighting, mic, that's also the purpose of Teamium to help this such business unit.
Yeah, thank you. I think we are good for today. Did I forget anything important you like to show during that demo?
Can I show you a roster? That's also a feature we've done for regional TV. We have done for that in Switzerland and in US. The roster, it's one of the feature that help. It's not only to manage, when you talk about scheduling, the very first thing you say, I need to book the person. So what you need to do is, okay, this person have some leave or not? Let's say that's the second step. But going further, it's that the person is available or not. What will be the presence of the person or not? And if you have someone, as you see, we're going for very flexible labor. So crew may have multiple roles. You can be a jib operator, you can be a shooter, you can do some news editing. We need to adapt to also some of the TV channel or production company that are very flexible on the way they're handling the internal resources. So giving the schedule of presence for each of them, as this is an example, I get my editors there. I can say, are you doing graphics? Are you working on a crane? So we creating on the timeline just by a simple click like that. I'll say, okay, Yannick, what you have to do today, or you're doing some graphics and you will be on the morning shift. Here it is. Extremely simple to say I'm present. So when my boss needs to assign me any task, he will know that I will be assigned there. And if I'm going to my home dashboard, if I go, you say, oh, I know I need to work today on a magazine. I'm 12 and Thursday as well. I know what I have to do. So when I have to click my time report, it's extremely easy to say, okay, I'm working on a magazine. Here's a color. And I will say, Utah presentation. I think it's, let me just put for a time report. And here it is. I automatically get my time report. So that's kind of the feature we have embedded beyond the roster to capture quickly the time based on your presence. Of course, time report. My boss can see what I've done. I have done 2 hours, 30 minutes today. And that's it for the day, let's say.
Perfect. Yeah, thank you, Yannick. I think we will focus on more features in our next session. But today, that's all. Thank you for your help. And if you have any questions, so you as our audience, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to pin us. We are happy to show you the product more in detail at any time. Thank you, Yannick.
Thank you, Yutan.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.